we're on.
Okay. All right, so we're starting with Ray.
Yes.
Let me scroll up to her.
So
what's the next box? How thoughts have changed.
Well, just to briefly recap, Ray had a head injury from an accident and now has a hearing aid. He was antisocial, quiet, and doesn't speak in class. He responds well to diagrams, but it's not responding well to instruction in class.
He responds, I don't know, to a lot of questions. He does okay on homework. He's respectful, but he's quiet.
Yeah.
I feel like we all, during our discussion last week, had, like, the same kind of ideas of what is presented this week. Like, he doesn't understand. He can't really hear with his hearing aids. So I do think that our thoughts were kind of on track last week.
Mm-hmm.
We just have more details now.
Yeah.
So I would say, I mean, for how thoughts have changed, I think we were pretty on the ball with that one.
Yeah, I mean, we all said that he possibly can't hear, and that's why he doesn't respond well. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Oh, wait, you guys can see on the Google Doc, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then never mind, because you can see it. Yeah, so we all thought he basically couldn't hear and stuff. I don't think my thoughts have changed about him, really.
Yeah, I don't.
It's really bad for him. I feel like he thinks he now I know that he thinks he's not very smart. Like, he thinks he's stupid.
Yeah. I mean, we knew leading up to whatever happened after the accident has to do with why he doesn't hear very well because of the hearing aid and the concussion or whatever he experienced. So I think this week puts it more in perspective to where we were asking the right questions.
Yeah, I think we were on point.
Mm-hmm.
But
it makes me so sad that he talks about how they can't afford his new hearing aid.
Yeah.
Because it's like, because I feel like if he could hear, he would probably be able to hear so much, or he's probably be able to learn so much better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as for what I still need to know, because the way he says it is he talks about how he used to be like better, like smarter and stuff, and now he just can't. So I wonder if it's not just the hearing aid as well. Like, maybe he did have some like head trauma, like real bad, where it's
like a brain damage.
It's like where it's rewired how he was, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put, we thought he wasn't able to hear well, and that was the cause of his troubles in class. His trouble, his lack of success in the class?
Yeah, that sounds good.
For how our thoughts have changed,
I feel like I would just say
well,
like,
our
thoughts were kind of just confirmed with this week.
Yeah. I would say what else, also something that changed was his perspective on life. I mean, he feels really stupid. He wants to run away. He wants to fix up his motorcycle and just,
Yeah, he seems like, I almost too kind of feel like maybe he feels like he's a burden on everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. He puts a lot of pressure on himself.
I wish we could give suggestions on how to, like, help. I don't know like what I still need to know, but I'd be like,
maybe
try to incorporate fixing the motorcycle into math, because that seems to be something that he enjoys. And
that's a different intelligence, the handiness and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if he's always been like that, or if the accident maybe like completely rewired how he thinks and stuff. Like, maybe he was relatively a normal learner.
Yeah.
Once that happened, he started learning more mechanically and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well, maybe that's why he responds to the diagrams so well too, because it's something that he can look at and like visualize. Where like when you're
Yeah.
working on a motorcycle, obviously you're looking at it and you're seeing what parts go where and how to fix the different parts. But I would say what you were just saying about if his way of learning has changed, I would put that in the what I still need to know. Like, did it change the way he thinks? Did it change the way he approaches learning? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we need to know if he's saving up or if he can hear, if the hearing aid will fix the problem.
Oh, like maybe even
Yeah.
if he had the new hearing aid, maybe it won't. Like maybe it's too far gone. It wouldn't have helped.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it just says, his head was damaged really badly. He can't hear. It hurts on the inside. Has he seen a doctor about it? Like, do we know if he's had treatment?
Yeah.
I mean, he is from, I don't know. How old was he when he got into the, 7th grade. Okay.
He's a 7th grader, but I think it said he was.
Yeah, it said 7 when he came here. Yeah, so he's been here for like half his life.
Yeah.
But when was the accident? Was it before he moved here?
The way it makes it sounds like it was after.
Yeah,
after.
Because he said he did well in school and stuff, and he knew English and stuff. He'd already learned some English, but now it's just harder.
Yeah. So we now know that he knows the material. He understands math. He just doesn't know what the teacher is doing on the smart board, drawing all the pictures, because he can't associate it to words.
Yes. I definitely think if his hearing aid was replaced and was actually the right amount of assistance that he needs, he would be able to do so much better in class. And I think he knows that too.
Yeah. He says he wishes somebody would show him,
Yeah.
He has help at home from his sister, but she's busy.
Something that stood out to me was he says the kids in class, they're smarter than me, even the ones that speak Spanish, younger, and already know this stuff. So I think it's interesting that he's associating, he talks about how he had to learn English when he came here and he does okay, but he prefers Spanish, and he's talking about this, he is doing worse than the students that only speak Spanish and math.
See, but I wonder if maybe before he was he spoke English well. So, because we don't know what type of head injury he had, but if it messed with his memory and stuff, maybe he at one point could speak English, and now it's reverted back to Spanish is his first language, so that's what he does better.
Well, that's what it kind of sounds like, because he said, I had to learn to talk in English. I do okay, but sometimes I can't remember the words.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He must
So
have, it had to be probably a big.
Maybe it damaged a little bit of his memory. I mean, to where he regresses back to his native tongue.
And it's interesting because he says he's 14 in the 7th grade, and he's older than the kids because of the accident. So he didn't start.
So he may have got pulled out of, what is it, 2nd grade?
Well, we don't know.
At 7, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
But I mean, if the accident was so big that he actually missed, where he I guess not got held back, but kind of,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I believe it had to have.
Yeah.
He must have missed a lot of school.
Yeah.
So, I wrote for what I still need to know: how much damage did he sustain from his accident? Did the accident rewire his brain? Did he learn differently before his accident? And would fixing his hearing aid help him in class, or would it not make much of a difference?
That's great.
Yeah, I think that covers all of it.
Okay.
All
Are
right.
you ready to move on to Martha?
Yep.
Okay, so Martha, what we knew from last week is she doesn't seem to speak or understand English at all. When he calls on her, she just looks down. He thought she was cheating, copying off her neighbor Araceli's, because her work was exactly the same as Araceli's work, and she was always talking to her in class. And what I thought was really interesting is reading her little story. It's kind of the other way around.
Yeah.
I mean, Araceli's not cheating, but she's helping Araceli. She knows her math.
Yeah. Yeah, Araceli's not understanding, but Araceli's teaching her like the words that she doesn't understand.
English, yeah.
Yeah, so
but Martha is the one that's like mastered the math.
and that definitely changed our thought about Martha.
Yeah.
Martha, so I'm going to say for how our thoughts have changed, Martha is very good at math.
And she knows English too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Martha is very good at math.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she must be very, very good because she's turning it in like
100% perfect. Yeah. Yeah. I love that she calls Mr. Jones a stupid man. I liked that part because he kind of is like,
yeah,
he's so rude. It makes me so sad because like more than one kid is talking about how much they don't like him because he is either not sympathetic or he doesn't try and help them or he thinks that they're dumb or he's scared of them, and it's just it's so frustrating.
And you know what? It makes me feel kind of bad because I mean, like as a teacher, you should know this. I mean, like for Ray, I mean, you're telling me as a teacher you don't know how bad his accident was? Like that wouldn't be in his cume or any of his files or anything like that? You know, like I think I mean if he has a hearing aid, you know, I've had students with hearing aids, and for one we have to wear
the microphone.
Yeah, like so that to me that's kind of and even that student, she's not completely deaf. Like
yeah.
It's just kind of interesting. Like,
yeah,
I wonder, like, I don't want to bash him, but like how much effort he's actually putting into these kids.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't even know that Martha, like, he just thought she was cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely shows the difference between the kids that make it easy for him and don't make it easy for him.
Yeah.
Like, even Dylan, like, he doesn't have any problems in this case study here. Like, this new one, there's, like, no issues. He's like, does fine. But it's like, all these kids are talking about their issues and how their teacher's just not helping them at all. And it's sad.
Yeah. And I don't know, do we have any thoughts that have been verified about Martha?
No, I don't think so. She does speak English.
Yeah.
She knows she could figure out the math by using the diagrams. That's something that we didn't know.
Yeah, that's true, because we didn't know if she was doing...
Yeah, so rather than her friend Araceli, or whatever it is, she more explains words and concepts, or, you know...
Yeah, like, she, like, teaching her the word variable. So it sounds like to me because as somebody, as a Mexican, and being in classes by the border and stuff, and I know Spanish, there's a lot of words for math that are cognates. So it's like this, it's similar to the same thing. So you can kind of, I don't want to say wing it, like if you didn't speak English or your English wasn't that well, for a lot of words, they're practically the same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some that are like completely different. So it seems to me like Araceli's telling her the ones that are like completely different. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like she can get some of it. Like,
yeah.
She knows English, and I mean she's kind of embarrassed because maybe her English isn't that great. And I mean I would kind of be too, the way he's acting, like the way Mr. Jones acts towards them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
I want to talk to him.
It seems like he has a very like non-nurturing, like unsafe classroom, and that like sounds really harsh to say, but like a lot of teachers try really hard to make sure that students feel welcome, and most of these students do not feel welcome in his classroom. So it's like one of those teachers that becomes a teacher but doesn't really care. Like you can't be a teacher and not care, you know?
Mm-hmm.
A teacher because you get the summers off.
Yeah, exactly.
His classroom's not inclusive.
Yeah,
I think that's a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
So for our verified thoughts, are we gonna say we don't have any?
Yeah. We didn't confirm any thoughts from last week that are verified this week, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like this is all new information that...
I mean, we know Araceli's her friend. I mean, like, we know they're friends. I mean, that's verified, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
but
like-
I don't think that's like I don't think it was as big of a thing as with Ray.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do we still want to know about her?
We want to know why she doesn't like her teacher so much. I mean, what,
I think we know
what-
why.
I mean, yeah.
So
I don't know.
I don't know
Why-
what I want to know about her. I mean, she seems like she's very family oriented. She's very smart.
Yeah.
We need to know why she's afraid to ask questions, besides her accent. I mean, is she?
I guess, yeah, we can word it like, is she embarrassed because she thinks that her teacher's going to make fun of her, or is she embarrassed because she thinks the classmates are going to make fun of her?
Yeah.
Like, where does the embarrassment come from? Because that is kind of like, I don't know, like maybe she just gets embarrassed, like she hears herself and she's like, oh, that would be embarrassing if someone else heard me, but then nobody else would think that too.
Yeah, and she
You know what
says
I'm saying?
herself that she's not dumb. And I know one of the biggest issues with kids in math is they don't want to ask questions because they think they're going to be dumb. Like if I ask a question, it makes me look dumb. So
Yeah.
I wonder if because she's smart, she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
But she can't articulate it. I wonder if she thinks that everybody's going to think she's dumb because of it, and it's
Yeah.
not really an accent thing or whatever.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
Oh, Dylan.
Oh, Dylan, life's
Ugh.
great.
Okay. Good for him, Dylan. Let's move on to Bill.
Seriously, there's nothing new. Like, they made Dylan so boring.
But I think that's part of the thing. Like, remember, like last week, because if we review what we said, Dylan, he's engaged, he does well in class, he seems like an easier student to have in the class. We didn't know why he was in that difficult students group. And then if you read his thing, it's still, I don't know why he's in that difficult students group.
Yeah, because he doesn't seem like he's having issues in class.
Yeah, he says school's okay, but I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean he's doing poorly. He could just,
Yeah.
it's okay.
So, I mean, yeah, so B's and C's when he should be getting A's and B's, right?
Well, he said in the little bio last week, he gets C's, B's, and A's. So he's getting, good grades. And his parents are educated, his brother's educated.
That's what I was gonna say about his parents. I think he's thrown in here, not that the other parents aren't involved, but they're making it seem like these other students, their parents are uneducated and don't really understand like public education or anything. Like, especially with the first two, Ray and Martha, they both are talking about, did Martha move here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so they're both talking about moving here, which means that both of their parents probably went to school in a different country, so they don't know how the education system is run around here, I guess. I don't know. But then Dylan, it's like, oh, my parents went to college, and my brother's going to college, and I have to go to college, and so it's, I don't really know where I'm
Yeah,
going with
so he's keeping tradition of the family.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like they're trying to make a point of like,
It's just expected of him to do that.
yes, yeah, like
Yeah,
the
so-
parents did it, so he's going to do it, but then the other students, their parents didn't go to college, so like, let's not worry about forcing them to go to college or talking to them about college.
Then why is he? Yeah, then why is he a difficult student? And I mean, that is a good question.
Because it seems like he has the resources available for him to not be a difficult student, but we don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I really, honestly, I know nothing about this kid.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't like it. The only thing we really learned is like what his parents do and what his brother is studying in college. And I guess he likes computers and technology.
But we learn nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's
Fine.
kind of funny because he doesn't. I know this is like fictional and stuff, but it's like he doesn't even see himself as difficult. So like,
Yeah.
or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, like the other ones were like, oh, I'm dumb, or I'm not dumb, but they think I'm dumb. And he's just like,
just normal. So
I like to visit my friends. Like,
So I'm going to say our thoughts haven't changed about him.
Yeah.
Nothing's been verified.
That's fair to say. I mean, he's a good old boy.
Yeah. I feel like what we still need to know, literally everything. Like, we don't know anything about him. Like, especially not why he's considered a difficult student, and he just seems so out of place in this group.
Yes. I mean, we can say nothing's been verified, but we know that, he is held to a certain standard, with his family.
I mean, yes, but he doesn't necessarily say that he doesn't want to go to college or anything. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, he likes computers and technology stuff. It'd really be awesome to get a job at Pixar. So I don't think he dislikes, like, I could see if he hated school and his parents were like, no, you need to get an education, or the difficulties would arise, but it doesn't necessarily say that.
Yeah.
So,
and what's interesting is he just says, I don't like science that much, but this is, like, based on his math class. So, like, does he like math? Does he not like math? I'm going to assume he probably does if he likes computers and technology, because that's all kind of tied together, but
I'm just going to put, for what we need to know, without putting everything, I'm just going to put, why is he on the difficult students list?
Yes, that works.
Yeah.
That perfectly sums up what we need to know.
So, just to confirm, these are difficult students, like all of them?
Yeah,
okay.
He said it like when
said,
sorry.
The first week he was saying, like, Mr. Jones was saying, like, these are some students that I'm having difficulties with in my classroom, and I'm not sure what to do.
Okay.
So that's why it's like he's out of place, because it's like the other kids, there's like, he's talking about what's the issue, but like this Dylan is just like, good old boy, like, grew up in town.
Yep, good.
Dylan
maybe he's entitled. Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe.
I mean, if he was entitled, but here's the thing, like, I would think if he was entitled, wouldn't you put that, like, information in?
Wouldn't it be written sort of like Gina's, where, oh, she's provocative and she has an attitude, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like entitled students make a point of acting entitled in class, so it would have been something that he would have mentioned. So maybe he is, or I don't know. Maybe it's because he knows him personally.
Yeah,
like,
I
not
think
making
you
him
really
sound
need to
difficult.
know why he's on the
list. Yeah. Until next week, then.
And I think cliffhanger. And when we get to Bill's our next one.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same thing. We learn nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, we learn more about Bill, but
we learned more about why he wants to be a Navy SEAL.
Yeah, and for our review, like, what we put before is that we knew that Mr. Jones, like, knew him. You know, he knew him personally. Knows a lot about him, but this didn't tell us anything.
Yeah, because it didn't say anything about him doing poorly in class, right?
No, it never said he did poorly in class. And then when he's doing his own bio, he says his mom's a math teacher. And so she told him that math is all about thinking, not so much about numbers. So I've really taken that to heart and worked hard at math. So he's working hard at math. His mother's a math teacher. So I'm assuming he's getting help in math.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know why he was on the difficult kids list. Like,
yeah. The only thing I thought that, like, might be a reason why, which, like, wasn't explained at all, was, like, he's talking about being able to see different places and moving different places because his dad's in the military.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, it's got to be hard if you're constantly moving. You know, you're probably moving more than one time a school year. So maybe just the inconsistency of schools and teachers and stuff might be, like, making math more difficult. But then, again, he has his mom who teaches math, and he's working extra hard, and he has all these resources.
Yeah, so it's just the same thing. Like,
it's again, like Dylan. We don't know why he's here.
Seems to have an interesting life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
he has goals. He knows what he wants to do in the future, which is cool.
He likes swimming, Navy SEAL. He likes that tradition of being a military brat.
And you know, the thing is too, like, on some of them, Mr. Jones made it seem like, family involvement wasn't there. You know, it seems like his family
It's pretty solid, yeah. He's talking about how great his parents are, and
like it's you know how like with that age the angst, like oh my mom doesn't get me and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't see that with Bill or Dylan. It seems
no.
It seems pretty like oh it's my mom.
Yeah, it seems like they have a lot of support. It seems like they have a very solid family home life.
Mm-hmm. Which is great, but again, that's not even giving a difficulty that.
Which like I don't think it should be difficult to have like a solid parent support. Like it does. Yeah, it doesn't really.
The opposite.
Yeah,
that's what you want, and that's I. So I'm gonna just put like our thoughts haven't changed. Nothing really has been verified, and we don't know why he's on the difficult student list.
Yeah,
and we know he's a military brat, but we don't know anything about his father. I mean, is he close? I mean, we know.
Well, he seems to talk about. He doesn't. He seems to talk about his parents in a very positive light. Because I would assume if you had a negative relationship with your dad, you might not want to continue the SEALs.
It does say at the end. Did you know that the SEALs motto is only easy day was yesterday? That's my motto too. Maybe he's disciplined, like at home. Maybe it's a strict household.
Maybe, but then at the same time, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he enjoys the strictness because it's going to get him ready for the SEALs, but I don't know.
Yeah, right.
He seems to respond well to it.
Yeah, and it's not like if his parents were strict and then acting out, but we don't know that. We don't know why. We know nothing.
That's good then.
You want to go into Gina?
Yep.
Okay, so Gina.
Yeah, I'll be careful. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah.
Our thoughts have changed.
Yeah, what's her most say?
She was a good student. She has an attitude. Mr. Jones thought she dressed really provocatively and flirts with the boys in class. Yeah. And reading her case study was very, very sad.
Yes. It started out funny, and I liked her a lot, and then it just got so sad.
It just nosedived.
Yeah, I think how thoughts have changed. I think
we didn't understand her personal life, really.
Yeah, we definitely have new insight.
Yeah.
I think we all kind of thought that Mr. Jones was kind of an ass for the way he described her, like, oh, she has an attitude and she's provocative. Which, I mean, she shut him down at the beginning, too.
Yeah.
But, the thing is, too, like, the way I'm seeing it, maybe you guys don't see it that way. It's like he's sexualizing a child.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, he is. And that's sad because it ties right into what's happening to her at home.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, I mean, of course, this is one of those things as a teacher, you might never know really what goes on in these kids' homes.
Yep.
Yeah.
But to where she knows that you visually, like, she knows how he feels about her, and then to have that going on at home, that's like salt in the wound.
Yeah. But we also know from, later down the road, Steve, that she's kind of mean too.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah. And Mr. Jones seems to not care.
Yep.
He's just like oblivious to all of this. I feel like something that I do when I have difficult students, I'm not like, oh, they're just being difficult, like they're making me so mad. It's like, why are they being difficult? Like, what's going on with them personally?
Yeah, like
that's causing them to have this attitude or be upset in class. Like, I mean, sometimes kids are just like assholes to be assholes, but like for the most part, there's a reason behind it, and it's probably something that's happening. And this is where like Mr. Jones has no personal relationship with his students because he has no idea what's happening at home.
And see, I'm gonna be honest, like the way I'm viewing it, like our thoughts have changed about her, like, and I don't know if you wanna throw it in, maybe the reason why she's like this is because of what's going on. But I know for at least the attitude part, we know she does have an attitude, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But her attitude,
Yeah.
I mean, is it justified a little bit? I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's not paying attention
He's-
to what's going on in class.
No.
He's not even
And
asking
it's-
questions.
Yeah, it seems like he's like taking her attitude personally rather than like thinking of like why, like thinking back to her, he's thinking of himself like, oh, well, she's having an attitude with me, like how dare she? Instead of being like, I wonder why, maybe I should
Yeah.
talk to her or her parents or a counselor or something like that, you know, like look for resources to help her.
Yeah.
You know what another thing is too? He's always saying that these boys, she's flirting with boys, but she kind of shuts down these boys.
Yeah, dumbass boys who think they're cool and sexy, little boys know nothing.
Yeah, and
Wow.
then she knows she's pretty, okay? Like she knows
Yeah,
she has the confidence, but like she knows she's smart, she knows she's pretty, and she doesn't, it seems like she doesn't have time for the boys.
yeah,
And he thinks she's just, you know, a big old flirt. Like, so I'm gonna say also like she's really not as interested in the guys.
True. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, guys, we have 8 minutes and 20 seconds left.
Okay, do you want to stop the session and then continue?
Whatever you think.
We can
Or let's
probably,
finish this one real quick.
yeah, I think we have a lot to unpackage with the last two, so we won't be able to do it in 8 minutes. But yeah, we'll finish Gina up, and then we'll switch over to the other one for Roxana and Steve. Is that who? Yeah, Steve.
Yeah.
Sounds
So
good.
what do we still want to know about Gina?
We want to know if she's a good student or not, or actually it says she mostly gets B's.
She's a good student. She's smart.
I want to know.
Oh.
I want to know why Mr. Jones doesn't have hasn't tried to pull her aside and talk to her, because it seems like he's just like not try. Because I feel like that's like an important part. Like, if you have a difficult student, talk to them after class, talk to them a passing period, after school, whatever. Try and see if you can figure out what's going on with them, or if they just have an attitude. And so I'm wondering,
Yeah, sure.
you know, if why he hasn't talked to her.
I'd like to know how many people, who knows about the abuse?
Yeah.
Because
Another thing like that, why does she think her mom wouldn't believe her? Because she talks about, like, he tells her, like, you tell anyone and I'll kill you, and then she says, I can't tell Mama, she wouldn't believe me anyway.
so
or is there an adult that she can trust? Because it doesn't seem like she can trust her mom, not Mr. Jones either. So
in this situation, all adults around her are failing her.
yeah, yep, that's really sad.
Yeah, so she has no positive role model in her life, not even the teacher.
Okay, so what we still need to know, why hasn't Mr. Jones tried to talk to her about why she's being difficult? Who knows about the abuse? Why won't her mother believe her?
Does she have any adult, like, trusting adults that she can talk to, I guess? Like grandparents, aunt, uncle, anything like that.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it for Gina.
Okay. Then let's end this session and we will pick back up on Roxana.
Already.
Alrighty.